When people talk about growth for consulting firms today, the conversation can often drift very quickly towards marketing tactics, platforms, visibility. And I think that's part of why this topic feels confusing for a lot of small consulting and professional service firms. Because if you look at how most of these firms have actually grown over the years, it wasn't through marketing in the traditional sense. It was through relationships, referrals, and reputation built over time by doing good work. That model still works. In fact, for most firms, it's still where the majority of new business comes from. Very few consulting engagements start because someone filled out a form on a website or discovered a firm through social media. Most of the time, it starts with a conversation. Someone mentions a name, a peer makes an introduction, a client says, "You should talk to them." So when firms feel pressure today to do more marketing, the discomfort usually isn't about the activity. It's about, I think, some uncertainty. Something feels different, but sometimes it's hard to pinpoint exactly what has changed. What's changed isn't the growth engine. It's what happens between a referral and a first conversation. Today, buyers almost always take a moment to validate what they've heard before they engage. They look you up, they scan for context, they want to see how you think and whether your perspective matches the problem that they are dealing with. They're not doing this because they need more information. They're doing it to reduce risk. And that's the shift that matters. Buyers aren't really looking for more content anymore. They're looking for a way to make sense of what they already see. Let me repeat that. Buyers aren't really looking for more content. They're looking for a way to make sense of what they see. In the past, being discoverable was mostly about being found. Search rankings actually did matter. Keywords mattered, traffic mattered, and pages did the explaining. Today, relevance works differently. Buyers are surrounded by information. What they respond to now is clarity. They're trying to quickly answer questions like, does this person understand the problem that I'm facing? Do they see the system around it? Do they sound like someone who's been here before? That's why what I'm calling visibility quietly replaces the whole marketing idea of discoverability. Recognition matters more. This also explains why there's so much discussion now about owning a category. This is evolving because of the way that people search today, no longer in the traditional way. They're owning a category not as a branding exercise and not as a marketing trick, but as a function of clarity. When a consultant consistently focuses on specific problem and uses clear, repeatable language to talk about it, they become easier to recognize and easier to trust. Generalists tend to blur together. Clear thinkers stand out. And this matters whether someone encounters you through a referral, a LinkedIn post, or an AI-assisted search result. The mechanism may change, but the signal that matters is the same. For most small consultancies, content doesn't create demand. It supports it. It compresses credibility. It helps a buyer quickly understand what you're known for and whether your way of thinking fits their situation. That's the role content plays now. Not noise, not volume, just clarity. And in a market where everyone has access to information, clarity has become one of the most efficient ways to build trust.